and friends. Today we have a very profound guest as a speaker today. Today, the speaker, she is the founder of an organization called Divine Space. So I'm really excited to know a lot about her organization and about her journey. So before I call upon her, let me just give a small introduction about her. So today's speaker is Arpitha Gupta, madam. She is the founder of Divine Space, and her work is simple and clear as to reach out to everyone that spiritual and material are not different from each other. And Arpita is a pioneer in bringing in transpersonal science into everybody's domain. And there are so many programs that she's teaching. Let's ask and know a lot about it in the session. And she is the chairperson of a trust called Divine Space Charitable Trust. It's a non-profit trust, and she has just come up with her school of learning. And at Balanagar, it is a 3-acre space which conducts a lot of trainings for both seekers and spiritual trainers. And her next project is a dream to construct a never before meditation center. So let's know a lot more about her, because it sounds very dynamic to me. So thank you for accepting our invitation and coming on to this session, ma'am. Welcome to the session.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for giving a wonderful opportunity to meet much more wonderful beings all over. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So today the session is all about, ma'am, the name that we have kept for this program is Infinity, which means if you have seen the word infinity, we have dropped all the I's from that infinity and we have replaced one, where we want all of us in this space, we want all of us to drop our identities, the I's that we are carrying, and become one with each other so that we can enjoy the oneness. So here, when we talk about the journey of the masters, we want to know a lot more about your journey, which took you to that oneness, so that it inspires a lot of us listening to this interview on the session and on the YouTube. So, ma'am, to start off with, I want to actually start with your early childhood, but first thing I want to ask you is, why did you name your organization as Divine Space?
Okay, that's a very nice question. Earlier, when I started, it wasn't like Divine Space. It was a Connection Academy. So till many years, it was like Connection Academy, because I was like, I want to connect to more souls all over. And it was building up the connection with everyone. So it was that sort where, the Connection Academies came up. And after a couple of years of my own experiences, whether it is transpersonal, physical, or astral, whatever experiences, then it automatically got transformed from Connection Academy to Divine Space. It was like, just like that, everyone started, whoever used to come to the academy, or, it was a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom flat initially. So everyone said it's such a divine feeling we get when we hear. So it just took over the name like Divine Space, and everyone connected to that name more than Connection Academy. So I said, okay, then this is what it wants to be. Okay, more than the name title I give, let it come out with its own identification, or, the name or whatever. Then yes, end of the day, whomever even a small child who is just born, when we are trying to give a name also, why do we name everyone? Because that's how we can communicate with them, we can relate to them. And there are many times it happens, some children, when you call their names, they continue crying. They don't like their names. There are some children, for particular names, they smile a lot. So that was this thing. And when Connection Academy transformed itself to Divine Space, I literally witnessed. I should not say it became or whatever. I was only witnessing its growth. It's not morely my growth, but I was witnessing its growth. So when I saw that how well, beautifully it was being growing, and it is so happy to connect even more profoundly to everyone, and it is ever expansive since then. That's all I can say.
Beautiful. As space is infinite, the growth is infinite. Wonderful, Ma. So, to start off with, now that please tell us about where you are from and a little bit about your childhood. Like, how was your childhood? Was there any connection or any kind of spiritual aspects in your childhood?
This is a very interesting question, but I can say uh, I have never chosen this path logically or psychologically or anywhere, because this path has chosen me since my childhood. Because of my mom being little ritualistic and puja part and all, and my father being a doctor, as very scientific temperament person, so there was a fusion of both the things all the time in me. So I was born with that kind of DNA where everything I want to understand in logical terms also, and at the same time trying to experiencing what is something beyond. So since childhood, these things were there in my mind, and moving to one temple to every temple along with my mom, I used to think, what is this? Is that God really there? Is that God listening to me? How do I know if the God listens to me? So I started used to communication developed through every idol. So I used to talk, and as and when I grew, because this was where I was very small as a child, I was like, it was so fascinating for me to talk to any god or goddesses, all these things. And then later on, I really literally started seeing that whatever I'm questioning, I'm getting the answer from some way or the other, through maybe some books or some uncle is coming and telling me something, or somewhere or the other. And I started saying, okay, this is a huge energy called God. It can communicate from any perspective, right? It can communicate. I don't need to get literally, the communication has to happen from the single photograph what I am seeing. It can happen through anyways. So that's when my communication developed. So I started questioning and I started knowing. I can say, I was directly somewhere, maybe because of the childhood innocence and everything, and with the openness, whatever I had, and the questioning mentality, temperament which I had, I kept on getting so many answers in various ways. And I saw so many magical things, scientifically, maybe not just magic, but yes, you can say at this energy level, the many magical things happening at our home, regarding our finances or our upbringing. Even when my father wanted to grow for his own career as a doctor and all, everything happened just like that. So it was like a smooth sailing. I'm asking something, and from somewhere, some answer is coming in some situation, and I'm moving ahead. It was so totally different. That's how I can always say I have never chosen this path, because I'm a kind of a person who will never, definitely not want to be in this path if I have to choose. Because my ideology about life was totally different in my childhood. But this path put me here. It closed all the doors where, other than this path, there was nothing exciting for me left over.
Amazing, amazing. So this path came to you. So I want to know, when exactly did meditation come to you?
When meditation has come, I was 5 years old, 4.5, 5 years. As I said, always walking along with my mom to one and this temple and that temple. So I ended up, because I was very notorious in my childhood. So one of the priests, he just said, don't make fuss, child. You just sit in this corner. You just sit under this tree. See, Hanuman is going to come. Said, from where he's going to come? I started looking at the tree, all the branches and all. I was wondering maybe a monkey is going to come. He's going to scare me or not, all these things. They said, then what should I do? I was just sitting there. What should I do? Then he said, the priest said, you just close your eyes, watch your breath and do nothing. Just do this and see Hanuman is going to come and stand in front of you. And that was so fascinating for me. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to just close my eyes and I'm going to see Hanuman. This was the thing. So I sat very calmly, because it was, in my childhood, I was like, whoever says anything, I literally used to trust completely. There was no other second thought for me. So I sat with all that, okay, he has said, so definitely there must be something. I'm sitting very dedicatedly, with all the dedication, commitment, I'm sitting there and just watching my breath. And then that moment, nothing has come, but I felt very nice inside me. All that notorious things, the child, how they jump all the time. I was that kind jumping jack kind of a time, never sitting at one place. That was the thing. But I felt there was that entire day for a couple of days. I observed myself and I heard many people and my friends and all, everyone saying, you are looking very calm. What happened? What's the matter? Anything is disturbing you? So nothing disturbing me actually. Actually, for the first time, nothing is disturbing me. I'm feeling very good. Then I went again to the temple. It happened that we had to go. So I asked him, the priest, that day something you told me to do, and I did it, and I'm feeling this. What is it I need to do for that? Then he said, then he just gave me a smile and he said, do 40 days. He said, do 40 days every day, come here, sit and do this in under this tree only. See, on 41st day, you will see Hanuman in your dreams. And he will tell you, from then onwards, is going to tell you, you don't need me anymore. And I was like, what is this? 40 days? Initially, it was like, oh my God, I have to do this for 40 days now. Was a thing. And then I continued for the rest of the 40 days. And miraculously, yes, I should say, admit, and I should say that I saw in one of my experience, Hanuman coming him and with all his, the expansive personality and all, and giving a nice smile and feeding me with the prasad and all. And then the only word I heard from it was like an inner voice I heard was Kaivalya Praptirastu. That was the only thing I heard. And then I felt, okay, done. And after that, for though I was not continuously practicing this meditation, but then whenever I want, just closing my eyes, I used to directly connect and go very deeper, very quickly. So that was there. That's how, entire childhood and my being in this path. And every time, whenever I wanted to learn something, it is like people used to say, I had one of my friend from Ramchandra Mission. So she used to always say that, you speak something different. Where, we, in our ashram, all the masters, whoever are into teaching, they talk like you. So why don't you come and join the mission? Our ashram said, oh please, I want to travel the world and I want to see the world. I can't stick myself to one point. It is very difficult right now. I don't think so. But off late, then everyone started, wherever anyone had any query, my friends and my schoolmates, classmates and all, they used to come and ask me, we are worried. We see, in childhood, what worries will be there? I have not completed homework, or my marks are less. What teachers are going to say, what parents are going to say. These were the queries. But I used to give them the answers. I used to tell them, it's okay, you face it. You have not done it, it's okay. There is no compulsion that everyone has to do everything. It's okay, you face it. So somehow my words and my it somewhere inspired them, and being in the path. And I should really say, this is what a blessing is. We really can't know. We don't know how it seems like. If we say I'm blessed, how are we saying? We can really can't see the blessings. But here we can witness. Whenever there is a blessing, we can witness. When you're able to guide somebody, when people are coming and asking you something, wanting me to learn something or know more about something which has come new, everything went, it was just like I have to reach that state and the door was open there. whichever door I have to enter, that door was there. So that's how it went.
Fantastic, ma'am. So you started to meditate and you saw that you were becoming more calm and you were attracting the problems of others. Now you didn't have any problems, but you were attracting others' problem and giving solutions and all. But when did you exactly make a decision to pursue this as a full-time thing? Because you said that had you given, if there was a choice, you wouldn't have chosen by yourself. This path came to you. So, how did it come to you, and how do you make
This
that?
is how just happened. This is how everything happened. People started flowing in, and I feel I was, because since my childhood, this started when I was in seventh standard. Things started. People started coming and asking. My friends started from my classmates and my schoolmates, and everyone developed a feeling like, oh, if you tell to Arpita, nothing will happen to us. That was the thing. So initially, obviously, like a human mind, it is always good to feel everything. Oh, everyone is giving that kind of priority. It is always feels good at that age of, the innocence age. So things went on. But after some time, I was like literally started witnessing why people are asking, because my father used to ask me why people are asking you. So he used to question me why people have come, because people started coming home also. So they just came home and they said, you have come to, he was like, what is this? She's a small kid. What is that she is going to tell you? And because since they were my friends and my school kids, he didn't had much thing of asking and making it more. And somewhere as a father and my parents, they just started liking, okay, she's giving a right direction. She's not just saying anything. She's giving a right direction. So what attracted me, I started reading more of books, not very grantha or anything like as such, but I started reading books of whether it is Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these stories, and trying to understand based on what could happen in life, what might have happened, not taking the essence exactly, but I started understanding within my own self. What all I used to do is sit in my own silence and then understand it within myself. So because I didn't know whom to ask, because if I asked anyone, they would say, oh, you're a small kid, why so many big things you want right now? Because these were the things I used to get it. So there's no point in asking anyone. So then I had to deal everything within myself. So as I walked in, after a certain point of time, I finished my graduation. This went on, my schooling, my graduation, everything went on. And once by the time I was my graduation second year, I was doing BA second year. I was very known personality within my friends, at least within my friends and within my colony. Okay, anything is there, we can tell Arpita and she will handle it. Somehow she does that. And then some people came and asked me, why don't you practice Reiki? There's a new thing which has come up. There's a healing thing. Why don't you do it? Because you are able to guide people. Have something else for you, for your own protection, and all these things were there. I said, I would, why should I need any protection? Because no one is coming to harm me. Everyone is coming with so much of friendliness with me, and they are able to connect with me. I'm able to, I don't, if I would have blabbering something or, telling something very odd, which does not really affect their lives, people wouldn't come to me. So then it was like, okay, let me see. Then I went to a class. It was first level, second level. It was like, it just happened. I never wanted to go, because people asked me so many times to do the course. I went, and it just went on. And the teachers were always, all my masters, whoever are teaching me, they're very happy to teach me, because I'm sitting very sincerely. Whatever they say, I'm doing it. You sit like this, I'm sitting like this. You stand like this, I'm doing like this. I'm not asking any question against, why. There was no why question for me. Okay, they have told it, I have to do it. It was like that. So that's how I connected to many, many masters, I should say, who have literally made me sit like a small child, and they everyone took care of me as their very close child, and taught me everything which they might have not taught to anyone else. So everything just flowed. I had to just keep my mind open and take everything. And whenever I'm learning anything, I used to always get somebody or the other from my neighbors or somebody for asking for some healing or some solution or anything. So I was not in my own control there. Then everyone used to, when I used to share with my master, they used to say, see, you are taken over. So there is nothing you are doing it. Things just happen through you. So let it happen. They gave me a title, you are a communicator. So be communicative. That's all. That's how everything happened.
Beautiful, ma'am. You were saying there were a lot of masters who helped you, who guided you. So, do you have any kind of one particular person or a few masters who you would like to tell us who have inspired you throughout your journey?
Throughout my journey, I can't say it was only one person. I just can't say one person because every master who had come as a door for me so that I can that transition happened from this door to another door. Everyone was there with me only for a certain small period of time, not for a lengthy period. Till I learned everything, whatever they could teach and experience it. And then I'm moving ahead further till I reached only myself. Till I reached myself, there were many people. I will tell you one of my beautiful experience when it happened some time back. We went for a yoga festival in Rishikesh. So there were we were sitting, and I was all my friends were very busy in meeting the ashram people and doing some voluntary work. So I didn't wanted to do much. So in the banks of Ganga, so I was just sitting in my own silence. From all of a sudden, from nowhere, there was he I can't call him, after knowing all the knowledge, I can't call him literally a beggar, but there was a person who was sitting along with those people, and he just came and sat beside me, and they said, what are you looking at? Said, I feel so calm when I see the water flowing. It feels so connectivity to me. It gives a lot of joy in me, so I'm sitting. And I said, then he started talking me about chakras and kulni. I was wondering from where this man has come and is talking about all these things. Who might have taught him? So this was my mind state. But he gave me such a beautiful understanding of what anatomy about anatomy of a spirit, and how what is kundalini and what third eye, everything, all the chakras, six chakras, and what is beyond even the chakras, how everything comes was totally explaining about a human, why a human is coming in, and what how a human is able to perceive things in what way. Though it was a huge thing, I was sure that so much would not be, I will not be remembering all that. But still, he gave me everything. There was no pen and paper where I'm going. I could write or anything. I had to just remember. And then when it was like 1.5 hours, he was talking, and I was just listening, because there was no word which I could utter at that point of time. It was like somebody just closed my this vocal cords. Don't speak now. You just listen. And it was only the head part which is open, and all the information was entering inside. And as he was talking, I felt a lot of energy, and my entire body was like vibrating, was so sensitive. And every word he was uttering was, and he was looking so shabby. It is so impossible for any person with a common mind sit with him, with that kind of a person. He was so shabby and everything, but he was talking so huge, I couldn't even come out of that. And then when he said, while he was leaving, I said, how am I going to remember all this? Then he gave a smile, and he just hit me here with his hand. This is huge enough. You will remember. Then I was like, oh my God, what is this? And after that, I had experienced a doctor panel. At least there were 12 to 15 people. They were working in some hospital. They were all were doctors. They came, and they heard that I'm into teaching Reiki and all these things. And I delivered all the chakras to them with even more profound understanding of whatever I received. It was, I never realized until I delivered it totally. I never realized that what he has done actually to me, and who was he, there was no clue. Okay, he was not just an ordinary man who just walked in. And why anybody has to walk in and, shabby with shabby clothes and torn clothes, sitting with somebody and speaking all that. It was so this thing. And they have done. I was in touch with this doctor panel for at least for 3-4 years. They said every diagnosis what they were doing to their patients, whoever coming for the hospital for the treatment, was very profound and very different. They could literally deal with their diseases, whatever the problem was happening, and was doing very good. They felt so nice. So that's how even today, when I deliver anything about chakras, everyone knows I'm talking about chakras. They say that something takes over. It is not normal. So it is.
Wow, that's really beautiful, ma'am. And somebody random person coming and giving you the pouring you the knowledge of unknown is really amazing. And also you having a background of a doctor father, and then you also have studied psychology, and you put all of the knowledge together, I guess. And putting them together, I mean, it'll be a great thing to receive, right? When something like this, which is called pseudoscience, comes from a scientific perspective and then told to people in a doctor panel, I mean, it's really amazing to see how people are open to connect to these concepts to
Yes.
heal. So
Yes.
it's really amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much for doing that. And ma'am, coming to the next thing is, I saw that you are also a mentor and a consultant for the School of Breath.
Yes.
So, so what exactly is taught in School of Breath? Because breath is something that is so divine, and that's one thing which is common to all of us, which
Yes.
connects and brings us to that oneness. So
Yes.
I'm really very curious to know what exactly is taught in the School of Breath.
School of Breath is a school which deals only with breath. Okay. How well, see, it is in your breath, you know whether your psyche is blocked, or you are moving, your mind is moving towards psychological perception of life or spiritual perception of life. Everything is there. All the answers are there in the breath itself. It is only thing is, we most of the times we are caught up with so many concepts, whether it is astral travel, whether it is cosmic aliens or cosmic beings or whatever we name it. We are stuck with so many things. We want to have an experience, because these are all high profound experience of spiritual experiences. So we are falling into learning into those concepts and understanding the concepts. Keeping the experience aside, we are falling into the concept mode. So breath is something which actually tells us that this is your breath. When you breathe, what is happening when you breathe? What is that happening? We only know we are sitting in anapanasati technique. When we look into it, we are just clasping our fingers, we are closing our eyes, and the breath, we are watching the breath, right? But when we are watching the breath, there is always a possibility that mind will still again wander, right? Because we do not know what breath is doing inside. So that's the reason there is always a possibility that you are getting deviated, right? The diversions and distractions are happening. So when we are sitting and just focusing on our breath, we literally observe that when we breathe in and breathe out, between these two, let there be no interval. Okay, when you're breathing in and when you're breathing out, there is like, right, and in breath and out breath, there is a sound, right? Nada yoga is a very huge, very profound yoga which has been coming from ancient times, but we have forgotten that. We know only Nada yoga in some sounds, but in this breath sound we have forgotten. We are focusing, we are supposed to sit and watch our breath, but we are forgetting the sound which is connected to it, right? So when we are connecting to this breath and breathing in and breathing out, the prana which is flowing along with the air we are breathing in, the prana is actually clearing the path, making the life force flow. The prana is making every organ inside the body breathe. So the prana is touching it. We are not just breathing in and out. We know where as we are breathing in, it is through the air, the prana is also going. But where is this prana going? This prana is getting supplied to every of the organs of our body. Right. In this, what is happening? Whatever the thoughts which are not needed, maybe we are thinking it is very important. Sometimes, a woman might say, oh, my kids have not taken breakfast today. That becomes a very huge thought for a mother, but actually for the self it is not an important thing. But most of the times we have put ourselves in so many such kinds of thoughts which are actually creating a block, and in that block our path is also moving ahead very slow. Evolution is also happening slow, and even the organs are also not getting enough supply of this prana. So when we are watching the breath, we are understanding this essence. What is apana, samana, udana, vyana, prana? When we are talking about this pancha pranas, what is this doing? We are not just breathing in and it's the external action. We are just breathing in and breathing out. But internally, the breath is going inside and doing all this, so much huge thing. There are 500 and odd techniques School of Breath teaches about just with breath, how to breathe. Even you want a work to happen, breathe this way, you will see the results in different.
Wow.
So all this is there. And the real magic happens in School of Breath.
Breath itself is a magic, and you said 500 plus odd techniques to breathe. I mean, it's really amazing. Is it something like pranayama or a breath work, or is it just observing the
It
natural?
is a combination of many things. We know only pranayama, few varieties of pranayama, and a few techniques of breath work. But there are many other things.
Okay.
Even including your body postures, or the way you breathe, the way you walk, how you understand every aspect, every nervous system of your entire body.
Wonderful. It's like know your breath is like knowing your life.
Knowing yourself in totality.
Wonderful, ma'am. And I also saw that you have expertised in the subject called transpersonal psychology or transpersonal science, and have designed some courses called Soul Designer, Soul Architect, and Soul Reformer. Can you please tell a little about these things?
Yeah. Transpersonal psychology is that part of psychology where uh, most of the times, I'll tell you in more clear way, there are so many experiences we connect to as we walk in this path. Most of them might not be spiritual. They might be something very psyche related also. Okay, whether we call it any spiritual emergency, whether even it is a kundalini awakening or a third eye activation, or even the past lives or afterlife, anything, all these areas come somewhere we connect to our transpersonal is that which is inside us. It is dealing with our unconscious brain completely, mind.
Okay.
Okay, totally whatever our unconscious mind, there most of the things we do not know. Right. We know our ancestors of this physical body, but we do not know our ancestors of our spiritual body, our
Right.
energy body, our mental body. We do not know our ancestors. We never met. Anytime in any experience, we connect to some shaman or, any other masters. We say, oh, I connect to the so and so masters. The meditation went very well. We cut it off there. But what exactly is happening? What are we missing there? All this knowledge is taught in transpersonal psychology. And Soul Designers is a program, it's a very basic foundational program where a person, for any being, so we have to say there was a time in our ancient times when we look into previous to our forefathers and great grandparents, there was a time the people were very innocent, and not there is 0% of technology, and there was so much of innocence at that point of time. So connecting to self was very easy at that point of time. Right now we are so hooked up with so many gadgets, so connecting to self is the biggest thing. Anyone sitting for silence is for meditation. Why are we right now teaching meditation even to a small kid? That in those times they used to say after 60 and 70 you learn. Why? Because minds were so open. There was no grand pollution was not there. Now because of so many gadgets we are polluted so much, so we need this. So every basic person as a human, it is our right to know what we are, whether it is our system anatomy completely, and how this physical anatomy is connected to the mental and emotional anatomy, and also the spiritual anatomy, how this body mind spirit is interrelated. Okay, and then what do we need in life? One is a very good health, and next is our relationships. So what are we doing? There are many things we know about relationships, but when it comes to manifestation, we do not know, we miss it. We have always query of, oh, my husband does not listen to me, my mother-in-law does not understand me, my children don't listen to me. We are stuck with so many all these things. So what are we here for? Do we continue to sit with the thought process of blaming and all this system confusions in our system, or do we grow little ahead? What do we do with ourselves? We have forgotten the relationship is not from outside, it is from inside. How am I relating myself to myself? What is this self? First of all, the definitions are missing. We do not know what is, we do not define meditation, we do not define self, we do not define soul, we do not define spirituality. There is no definition taught anywhere. So, Soul Designers program is that program where every definition is taught, including what is prana and what is yoga, everything. All the definitions are taught so that when a person is sitting for any practice, they know what sadhana they're doing it and to achieve what. Actually, is there anything to be achieved? If there is anything, then what is it? Okay. And then Soul Architects is a advanced program where you learn basics of inner child also, and past life, about understanding what past life regression therapy is all about. Past life is a most I say very colorful fantasy. Everyone drag into so beautifully into that, but we need to understand we are not connecting to any reincarnation, because when I'm saying I have taken birth before also, I'll continue to take birth after also, I need to understand which I am I talking about. Whenever everyone is using the statement and they're connecting to the same body only, if I say this outwardly, there's thousands of people around who are going to say, oh, Arpita madam has lived before also. Arpita will never live again. Neither Arpita lived before, neither Arpita is going to live after this life. Arpita's story is only with this identity, this body, that's all. But the I, the essence which is there, that will continue to progress. Right. It has got nothing to do with this body at all. So we need to understand the separation. Before understanding the union, you should know which subject is actually separating you and how to understand your that unfragment, the ultimate absolute self, by dividing it, keep making it separate from this existing whatever identification we have. So Soul Architects is the program. It goes little advanced in explaining the brain and how exactly all the definitions and how you go about it. And Soul Reformers is a program where you know how to, you become a deliverer. Now you are becoming a communicator to the world, understand what you want. Your entire lifestyle changes. You are no more like how you were before anything. So these three are going into a different variations. Unless one Soul Designers is passed out, nobody can join architects. Unless architects tasks are completed, nobody can join reformers. That's how it is.
Wonderful, ma'am. So, when did you actually decide to teach, bring all these things together and then make it a course of this three segments and then teach it? to people. What was the purpose of it, ma'am?
It's a very good question. What is the purpose? While we are meditating, why everyone is meditating? What is the purpose behind it? We need to understand, like, everything. That's how, we have come here. We are here. We are living our lives. This is the physical body we need to take care of, and these are the relationship we need to take care of. And this is because the life goes on. There are some finances we have to handle, and beyond this, what is there? Maybe the emotions. Okay. Once after all these things are over, you are able to deal with. That means life is done. You are a successful being. No. If relationships are perfect, if health is perfect, emotions are well balanced, that does not mean you don't need to meditate and you are done. There is nothing else you need to learn. All these privileges are given so that you don't have all these areas, worries in these areas, so that you can actually understand what you are. Are you beyond this bones and flesh? We are something very huge. We are not, we can't say that I'm that spark. We cannot say that, because I'm not just simply a spark. How can I be a spark? If I'm a spark, then that spark is not just a spark. Even the drop in the ocean is not just a drop just because we are seeing it as a drop. It has the same taste which the same entire ocean water has. It is no different. So that spark, that single drop is not that very simple thing where we say, I'm just a spark. I keep listening. Oh, I'm just a Amsha. What do you mean by Amsha? Do you even know what Purna is? If I know what the full completion is, the wholeness is, I will be very happy and very proud and well elevated that I'm that part of it. Right. Part is not, that does not mean you are small. Part means you are actually huge in a different expression, in a unique expression of yourself. And that is what your tattva is. Your essence is that expression. Everyone has some or the other skill. Like Dr. Newton, he has a beautiful skill of delivering the past life regression therapy. That is his basic skill. Right. Like Patri sir had the beautiful, of course, he's beyond all the skills. That's a different thing. But just for us to understand, he has the skill of, communicating with everyone and giving them a beautiful technique called just watching the breath. Like everyone is born with some or the other technique. Where is mine? This is what the question should arise. I'm sitting in silence. I watched my breath. I did, and I'm feeling very peaceful. My life is happy. No, that means you have not started your journey. I've done my meditation. After joining my meditation, my health is wonderful. I am very happy. No, you have not started your journey. Your journey you have started when you realized this spark is from that completion, that wholeness, and I'm not ordinary. When you realize that, you don't need thousands of people to come in and listen to you every day, but you are every moment, every essence, every element around you is communicating with you, and there is a constant communication happening all the time. When you realize that, when you are able to do that, when you understand what spirituality is, what spirit is, and then you can say, yes, I'm a spiritual being. Without knowing all this, I have no authority to say I'm a meditator, I'm a spiritual being. I cannot say that because I have not yet defined it. Right. This is the main purpose of making all these programs. Earlier I used to do rebirthing breathwork workshop, past life regression workshop, all different training programs I used to do. But then I felt I was not feeling satisfied inside. Why people should learn only this? Why not all together? Why everything from ABCD? Why can't I just give whatever I learned so far and whatever comes? And then I started making up. It took at least 10 years of my lifetime, my experiences, and my entire understanding, with all my scientific temperament or my spiritual experiences, transpersonal experiences, all kind of shades happening. I could connect even to the darkest souls, wildest souls, even the highest divine beings also, connecting and trying to understand everything, and then deliver and make this program totally, so that everyone must reach. It takes time. It's not like people will come really for people are now, most of them are now interested in, if I'm able to teach them astral travel, I will have a big crowd. I don't want crowd. I want that one person who really wants, I want to know myself, who can say to themselves, I want to know myself thoroughly. That's how this place also, I think, actually matches with, when I say divine space, you connect to that space which is eternal, which is infinite, like exactly how your program is, which is infinite, and that is so divine, and that is ever expansive, that is full of love, beauty, compassion, everything is there. You become that. For that you walk in this path, not for just dealing with my finances or my dealing with my relationship issues, or just to know some of my spiritual aspect. No, I this is what I wanted to give to the world.
Wonderful, ma'am. And the thing that I always have been hearing this from a lot of masters is, after we taste the peace, the joy, the compassion that we get in the meditation, we don't want to keep it to ourselves. We want to spread it. We want to give it to the world. As you said, the essence, once we have got to know what is the essence of being who I am, we just don't want to keep it to ourselves. We want to spread that essence.
After that, after knowing it, nothing is in your control. You can't hold an old ocean in your hand. It is not possible. It is not that I'm trying to hold it or I'm trying to give it. It goes. Once the teacher is awakened, teacher knows how to get the students. I don't have to worry. I don't have to do any marketing for that so and so workshop is there, so and so dates are there, so and so. I don't need to do that, because it is not me as Arpita who is doing it. It is that teacher. And the teacher is very open. Anybody comes. Some people might come with just a reason of, I have issues with my family, I want to deal with it. But that will be the beginning for them. And then it goes.
Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. So, how are you enjoying this journey throughout?
Oh, wow. That's a question that can never be answered, because it's limitless. It's just like reaching the whole and beyond. Nirguna, Nirvana, all that. Whatever you can say. I
Wonderful.
thoroughly enjoy. Since I have started walking in this path, there was no day I can say today I didn't teach anyone, or I didn't communicate to anyone, I didn't counsel anyone. I really cannot say that. I'm not a person who attract crowds, thousands of people to me. It's not that I have not done that. I've already attracted, thousands of people, 10,000, 20,000 people also. But then I'm a person, I sit in my own space and just connect to I develop rapport within myself every day. That's the only work I do. Rest all how the transpersonal inside does takes care. More of, maximum my students are a group of 10, 12, 20, or 20. That's all.
Wow. And ma'am, if you have to suggest any profound books or your favorite books to our participants, which would that be?
The only book everyone must read without fail is Self. If
Self.
you read Self, every other book is understood. Without understanding the Self, hundreds and thousands of books are just going to be they're going to give some kind of happiness at for some time, but it's not going to be permanent.
Wow. So self study is the most important thing that.
Yes. Other than that, we have no other work actually. Other than knowing self, we have got no agenda at all in this world. We have come here, enjoy the nature, Be there, live the planet the way it is, and just leave. That's all. But in the meantime, what are we going to do? We go for a vacation, we go to Shimla, Kulu, Manali. What do? We just feel the good thing, whatever is there available, be in our own self, and then walk out from the place, right? That's all the journey is.
Right. So, ma'am, how does your day look like? Are there any particular practices that you do on a daily basis and suggest our participants also to always do those practices?
There are n number of practices if you really want to do, and every practice is different in its own way, because there are at least 20 to 25 symbols I connect, and there are so many japas I do, so much of sadhana practices, other different practices, and also my breath, everything I do. But it is because of my passion and my liking and my oneness with it, I do. I wish entire world does the same thing, instead of keeping our time 2 hours in a day, or whatever time our day we are scrolling all the reels in the phone and watching all this soap serials. Other than that, it is better if we are opening our eyes inwards. We are not actually closing our eyes, we are opening our eyes inwards, and then be with there, and whatever technique you have, continue do it, not for the sake of just doing it, because you are developing. There is something the inner wants to tell you. If it wants to tell you, you should be available. So I'm only trying to be available to myself.
That's beautiful. Being available to ourselves.
How much I can be available to myself, how much ever possible, with open eyes, with eyes outward, outside also, outwards also, I can be with myself. With eyes inwards also, I can be with myself. The point is whether I want to be with myself or not.
Wonderful, ma'am. The communion that we do with our own self is the most important thing. Wonderful. So, ma'am, what are your next projects, like your mission, your vision for the future?
Yeah, this a very huge one. It's 100 crore project which I'm planning right now. There's a huge hall of silence, because the journey is not just from Muladhara and Sahasrara, it is beyond that. It is not just like we reach the whole. Beyond the wholeness, also, there is so much we actually belong to. We are connecting to, even through our meditation practices or our experiences, we are connecting to the huge ball of light, and we are thinking we have reached our destination. No, beyond that, also, there is so much we need to take in. So, this hall of silence, this meditation hall, which I am coming up, it is going to take everyone to that kind of journey. Starting with Muladhara, every hall is going to be a transition from one level to other level. By the time they reach beyond Sahasrara, the ultimate hall of silence, by the time they reach that, I want people to go through a kind of silence and calmness, and that eternity as an essence inside awaken them. By the time they come out, it's going to be a completely 1.5 hour rotation, what they're going to do completely, walking. Let's see how it comes. And yes, I need everyone's cooperation also in that to come up with such a huge project. Everyone's blessings and everyone's everything.
Wonderful, ma'am. And it's a divine project for the well-being of the whole planet. So the whole universe will conspire for its manifestation, definitely. And as you said, it is about taking one person into the silence, and space and silence are nothing but it's the synonymous things, right? When we are in the space, we are in that silence, and a whole effort of getting into meditation is to get into that stillness, to that space, to that silence. And if a space like that is going to be created, nothing like that, I mean, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, finally, what would you like to tell our participants and viewers that about your journey and how should they take their spiritual journey and personal lives ahead to make it fulfilled?
Yeah. In a simple terms, I would like to say everyone attend all the programs, soul designers, soul architects, and soul reformers. And beyond that is never look life as something where you have to achieve. Your life itself is an achievement for you. And life is a opportunity where you can develop a beautiful rapport with yourself, and don't miss an opportunity. Don't miss this beautiful opportunity every moment to moment, how closely you can be with yourself. Don't run behind concepts, run behind wisdom. Know the difference. There might be n number of concepts. It's okay just to have an just a brushing our brains just for an idea. You want to learn anything, you learn. But what actually is wisdom that flows only when you practice everything, whatever you have learned. You want to learn about karma? It's a beautiful wisdom, but don't run behind every class wherever karma a topic is taught. Learn from one person, finish the portion there, live it, practice it, understand it, bind up with your wisdom in it, in your life experiences, then continue. Don't rush yourself, don't dump yourself with so much of whatever you feel somebody has told it is beautiful and it is wonderful. Just like that.
Got it. So basically, you're trying to tell us that when you learn something, live it, experience it, and simply don't try to accumulate the information from everywhere, but live it. With one information, live it and experience it.
And for that, many people you have to come out of online system. You have to, because it is a path where you it needs to be walked.
Felt.
It's, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. I really thoroughly enjoyed having a conversation with you, and I have so many things to ask, but there's a constraint of the time. So, is the topics that we are dealing with are so much interesting that I have so many questions and want to know, and definitely will connect sometime on your website or through your programs. So I would suggest all the people to please connect to ma'am and get to know yourself and prioritize yourself and connect to your own true self so that your fulfillment is done. And ma'am, also we have Sharma sir who is joining us from Dallas. He's the
Yeah.
sponsor of this program, so he's joining us from Omega Pyramid that is happening in the Dallas. So he's from that community. He's leading there. So hi Sharma sir.
Hi, Prithvi. Namaste, madam.
Namaste.
Yeah, so I'm from Dallas. I'm Sharma, Srihari Sharma. We live in Dallas. So we are, so as part of Patriji's vision of pyramid Jagat, so we are building a huge pyramid here,
Wow.
180 by 180. So,
Wow.
so, so I just wanted to, your wisdom sharing today is very, very profound. So I definitely wanted to connect and take it from there with you. So, and so with regard to this pyramids thing, do you have any experience or did you anything to share regarding the pyramids? And because you have been traveling, I think, with Anapanasati meditation and Patriji also,
Pyramids are, as a structure, it is undoubtedly a beautiful structure. It really has the capacity of keeping you healed because it's only the prana, the beautiful prana is flowing from the structure is such way, is designed in such a way beautifully. The prana flows without any obstruction. That's how the beautiful thing. And as you while you practice or any continue any kind of practice under the pyramid and sitting inside the pyramid, definitely your prana is flowing in a different kind. It's very purely and very without any interval or any block. it flows. That's definitely is there in the pyramids. Pyramid structures are really very awesome, I can say. It knows, the structure itself knows how to heal yourself.
Right. I look forward for your project also, ma'am. You said
Yes.
silence, temple of
Yes.
silence, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I look forward for that also to coming up to fruition.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Anytime for anyone who wants classes also, I'm available. I do a soul designers program online also sometimes, because many people from other countries, they can't really travel every time for everything. So such cases, I do online programs also. So anytime if there is anything I can share, I can be a part of any sharing, I'm there. Thank you.
Yes, great. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
For your knowledge and sharing. Thank you. Thank you, Prithvi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. There is a big need for meditation centers everywhere, huge meditation centers everywhere, so that, people get into this communion with self. So one coming up in Dallas in US, which is so much needed for the world. And as I said, the world will, the universe will conspire for manifesting all kinds of meditation centers so that we get in touch with our infiniteness.
Yes.
Thank you, Sharma sir, for joining us. And ma'am, it was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you. It was really wonderful meeting all of you also. And Sharma Garu, it's really wonderful. Thank you.
So deep gratitude for you, for your time, for sharing, and openly with a huge smile and laughter, you have shared your journey, and we really enjoyed listening to you. Thank you so much for your time, and please keep guiding a lot of people into this path as you're doing. And we all are just blessed to be around masters like you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you again. And friends, thank you for joining us and being with us and listening to this interesting conversation throughout and meditating with us. Thank you so much. And I would like to also extend my gratitude to all the partners of this program. Meditation Magic from USA, Breath Universe from Australia, Beam from Germany, IFSs and Shambhala from India. And thanks to the streaming partner PMC English. And thanks to all the masters. Thank you so much. We'll meet again in the next week, next Sunday, with another session with another master. Till then, see you all. Take care. And thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.